All right, Shalom. We're the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, I'd like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who we believe through faith to be raised up here in these latter days, to further and advance the gospel of our Lord Yahushua. I also want to say shalom to you brothers out there that's laboring in His work. And as always, you believers, the Akim as well as the Aqua, those of you who subscribe to these teachings as well. So yeah, we back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. And as always, the theme is prophecy. And we coming into a time where, once again, the things that's written and foretold to come to pass here in the latter days will be made manifest physically, because we can speak and convey what's in this book, but eventually it will be seen, just like in the days of Noah, all right, in the old world. Noah prophesied for 120 years or so, all right? But there was a point where you could physically see, they physically saw the rain descend upon the planet Earth, thus perfecting what was spoken, concerning those said perils. And here we are again today in that stead, and the message is really bleak. It's not optimistic, as you people might think. Those of you Babylonians out there. Was at the forefront of this message is the Lord visiting the so-called white man, overthrowing Babylon the Great, which will be cemented with a series of plagues, and is well documented. The insurrections and seditions, civil unrest will be brought by way of that famine. That's going to really be that domino that's going to set things off. You're also going to have strange prophecies in the form of newly created beasts that the Lord is going to unleash on the inhabitants of the planet Earth in an effort to wreak havoc on you people. And the ultimate plague, which will come in the form of World War III, which this place will be violently overthrown, in an effort to take down the so-called white man, which will build up to the climax to life and existence itself. And that's the return of our Lord Yahweh. That's the belief system, man. Which is foreign to a lot of you people, especially those of you who claim to build your foundation off of the scriptures. You don't view this thing through spiritual lenses, should I say, which is required, okay? But, one of the prophecies that somewhat can get lost in the shuffle is Esau rising up against Jacob, man. All right, that's a part of the story. The so-called white man is set to come after you, and his legislations and laws are already in place to accommodate that, which through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, we're going to get into some of that. All right. So you got something? Anybody got something?
Yeah, I got something real quick. Mm-hmm. This is Wisdom Solomon 10:10. When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath.
Yep, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath. Give me real quick Revelation, the 12th chapter and the 12th verse.
This Revelation 12 and verse 12. Mm-hmm. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens.
Right, and who would the heavens be? It would be the believers. As it is written, the kingdom of heaven is within you. So we would be the heavens. As it is written, our conversation is in heaven, right? So this is the time where we are to rejoice, Although these are dangerous times, obviously. But on the flip side, there are beautiful times, being that this is the time where our Lord Yahweh Shah will once more show favor to the children of Israel by way of delivering his elect and setting us up. All right, read that again.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Yep.
Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth.
Yep. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. Go ahead.
And of the sea.
And of the sea, meaning everybody outside of this circle. Okay? Those of you in the world, that's what it means, the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. The sea translating to the people, the masses of the people. Go ahead.
For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
See, the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath. And where the devil is that? Right? Is it, you have two, we're gonna set out two options, man. You choose one. Behind door number one, all right, the devil in the red spandex suit, the one with the neatly shaved goatee and a damn pointed tail. And he got a pitchfork waiting on you to come down into the abyss. All right, is it that devil or the devil here in this realm? The deceiver, the so-called white man, who have distorted history, you know, who have pretty much shrouded truth in mystery. You have to goddamn research to find truth. Why I got to do all that? Just tell me the truth. You know, well, that proves that that's the devil that we're talking about that's going to eventually come down with great wrath. The so-called white man. See, go ahead.
It says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
Well, look, I thought this. So the spiritual man is saying he on the clock. You know, in the underworld, he gonna die and go to another hell. You know, these are the questions. When you entertain that bullshit, that Christianity bullshit, it takes you into a whole nother realm of madness. You know. Well, this devil that knows that they have but a short time is talking about the so-called white man, and everything fits it jointly. It's fitted jointly and perfectly. Simultaneously, you see what this man trying to kick off his new world order and crown his enterprise a success. He's trying to shift into a new currency, you know. He's trying to establish this global enterprise with these conglomerates of nations. Well, he's on the clock. He know that he has but a short time to do that. And, you know, this resistance that he's receiving, especially concerning the jab, and we're going to go into that too. There's more information on that. Right? Hey, this thing don't stop. It's going down, man. We're in the midst of war. We're in the midst of these two resistant powers. You know? Real quick, could you look up that word wrath, see what it gives you? Let's go back here.
Wisdom of Solomon 10:10. When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in right paths.
When he fled from his brother's wrath. So this brother who would bring wrath is this same devil right here. That's set to come down with great wrath. See, go ahead.
It says, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in right paths, showed him the kingdom of the Most High, and gave him knowledge of holy things, made him rich in his travails, and multiplied the fruit of his labors.
Right. And that's dealing with this wisdom, which is set up to stabilize us in that time. Because once this man began to take away your luxuries, you know, this man pretty much set up these different pitfalls and snares for you, right? The only ones that's going to be able to withstand that is the elect. You know, those of you who have this information. All right, so real quick, did I give you some on that?
This is the word wrath, Strong's G 2372. It says passion, anger, angry, heat, anger.
Oh, heat. Can you give me that in second Ezra real quick? That burning fire. Read that again.
It says passion, angry, heat.
This man heated with you. Go ahead.
It says anger for with boiling up and soon subsiding again.
Yep. So it's like that hatred that was lying dormant in this devil is going to be released. Because his instincts of survival pretty much going to kick in. You know, if you corner off a cat, right? Well, that cat, what he's going to do is going to hunch his back. You know, he's going to hiss at you. Or a dog, he's going to show his teeth. Well, that's the same with the so-called white man. He can feel the walls closing in on him. His society, his rulership, his power is man threatened. So his instinct of survival going to kick in. which we know, besides deception, his main attribute is the sword. So this is what this man is going to revert to, in effort to try to hold fast to his rulership. Okay? So come on.
God, this is the book of 2 Ezra 16 and verse 6 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you.
See that? And that great multitude is the so-called white man, which will be on display through his military. But you see where the words burning wrath is there. Okay? Go ahead.
It says,
hey, that fire-breathing dragon, man. And it starts with his laws. Hey, it's the same with the Most High. That's the duality of it. Before the Most High bring forth judgment, it's decreed. Well, it's the same with Esau. And really any kingdom, any empire or regime when you go into the history. For an example, when you read Daniel, the 3rd chapter, where it goes into the sound of the sackbut and the cymbals, and for any who bowed not down when that decree went out, they would be put to death. So that's the common thread when dealing with kings. So just like Yahweh Shem Shai has sent forth a decree to overthrow Esau, right? Well, the so-called white man, before he rise up against us and wage war against us, pretty much that's what's being set. He's going to do it by way of his laws. He's going to feel justified by way of the legislation that he has put in place, which again is nothing more than him waging war against the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. See? Yep, like the brother put, Revelation 6 and 4. Okay? This devil, and one of his main attributes is the sword. This is the way he rationalized things out. Okay? All right, so come on, read that again.
God, 2 Ezra 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
Mm-hmm.
And they that consent unto them shall be held in derision.
Right, so for those of you consent, and you see right now this word mandate being thrown around, all right, this man is presenting this jabber to you, and you're going to have certain consent, all right? And you're going to consent under the idea of being, taken care of, making a covenant, a pact with this devil. What's going to motivate you is you want to get everything back to normal. And you see right now the Lord is really snaring these people. Seems like everything is going back to normal, but behind the scene, these devils is snaring you. There's a trap laid for you, man. Hey, and that's why he's also known as the cunning hunter. See? So we having eyes to see, we can see it being laid out. Matter of fact, give me that real quick in our Proverbs, the 1st chapter.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
See that? Read it one more time.
Surely in vain the net is...
And the net is what? A trap, right? Go ahead.
The net is spread in the sight of any bird.
So the so-called white man and his snares, his traps, are laid in vain in the sight of the bird. We would be the bird. That bird symbolizes the elect, or the potential elect, the believers who have been given eyes to see. So the so-called white man looking to entrap us is in vain. Again, we have eyes to see. We can see what this man is doing. But for those of you who are blind, who have been blinded, you're going to walk right into that trap. Those of you who lack this understanding. Matter of fact, let's get that since you're in Proverbs 22 and 3. And this scripture right here we're about to get is going to pretty much show you what's the wedge, if you will, between those who are going to be preserved versus those who are going to be put to death. And that's really what it boils down to, man. There's no gray area. It's not going to be like someone, neutral in their high rise watching TV and they're not going to be affected by the wrath that Yahweh Shem Shai is going to bring forth through this devil, Esau. See, so come on.
Proverbs 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil.
See, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, right? And that's where the spirit of anticipation comes in. And that's what you develop when subscribing to this form of teaching. All right, in the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy. Go ahead.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
Mm-hmm.
But the simple pass on and are punished.
See, but the simple pass on and are punished. They're going to walk right into the step. But you see what's the distinguishing factor, if you will. the prudent versus the simple. Those who possess the wisdom are given from the Heavenly Father through His Son, or those who don't. All right, the proper knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures, or the lack thereof. But guess what? Those two entities is either going to cost you your life or it's going to preserve you. Simple as that. All right, you got something?
Come on. Isaiah 33:6. In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Yep, and that wisdom and knowledge right there is not talking about conventional wisdom. You know, you have an ability to start a damn fire from scratch or some crazy shit. You know, being able to hunt. You know, you picked up on doomsday prepping. That's not going to save you. That's not going to be the stability of your times. The stability of times will be this understanding. Read it one more time up.
It says, Isaiah 33:6, in wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, in strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Yep, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So this is what's going to stabilize us. Matter of fact, give me real quick, Wisdom of Solomon 6. I want to say start at like the 15th verse.
Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 15. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom. And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care.
See, and whoso watcheth for her, meaning his wisdom, will quickly be without care. See, go ahead. Hey, which that spirit is going to be heavy on you people out there. You know, those of you who don't have a clue what the hell is going on. See, go ahead.
But she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her.
Right. Oh, and that proves right there that this is not open to the masses of the people. This information was not revealed unto many. And knowing that should give you more incentive to thank Yahweh Shema Shah for counting you worthy to partake in his counsel. Go ahead.
Showing herself favorably unto them in the ways. And meeteth them in every thought.
Yep, go ahead. And meeteth them in every thought. Hey, like Isaiah 33:6. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. So when you're faced with certain adversity, you're going to be comforted by wisdom, man. Okay? Which it tells you how she's a comfort in times of grief. See? Go ahead.
For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. And love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed. It's like in the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
Oh, is the assurance of incorruption, which that process starts now. Okay, well,
and incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High.
And hold up, this incorruption, I want to throw this out there, is actually a process, because we know incorruption will be climaxed when these corruptible bodies are changed into incorruptible. But really that incorruption starts with this doctrine. That's why when you read Ecclesiasticus 19, it tells you that the doctrine of life is the tree of immortality. So incorruption is really the seed. Salaki, this word is really the seed, if you will, of incorruption. This is what's going to bring. Matter of fact, let's prove that. Give me 2 Peter 1 and 23, I want to say. 2 Peter 1 and 23. Because the incorruptible bodies that we're going to receive, it starts with this truth. It's not going to just be some guy, you know, when the destruction comes, get beamed up in the chariots. He don't know what the hell going on. And he get in the chariots and the angels, the Lord, sit him down and say, calm down. All right, somebody give me the precept. The reason why you're here is because you'll be elect. No. This process starts now. Is that it?
First Peter.
I think 1 Peter 1 and 23.
1 Peter 1 and 23, being born again.
That's it.
Not of corruptible seed.
See, not of corruptible seed. Go ahead.
But of incorruptible.
See, but of incorruptible. See, go ahead.
By the word.
By the word. So that proves that in order for you to become incorruptible, you have to entertain the word. You have to subscribe to the word, man. So all of you out there, you're in a privileged position right now. Now, with that said, there's a clause in the contract. We are to endure to the end. As it is written, we are to continue in the faith. All right? And if you do these things, then you should never fail. So right now, we have to hold fast to the crown. Oh, and that's Revelation. What's that? Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Right? Read that again, huh?
God. 1 Peter 1:23, being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible.
But of incorruptible. See, go ahead.
By the word of the Most High, which liveth and abideth forever.
See that? By the word of the Most High, which liveth and abideth forever. So in order for you to qualify to become incorruptible or immortal, it starts with the understanding of this word. Okay?
I got you. This is the book of St. John 4:14. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life.
Springing up into everlasting life, proving that that's a process. You know, like all the works of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh through His Son, Yahweh Shai. Everything is a build-up, is a process. So that's the same with everlasting life. It starts with this word, and once in you, it bubbles up into everlasting life. The word is actually the seed. Matter of fact, you want to get that? The word is the seed. And we know that a seed, it doesn't stay a seed forever. It actually grows. You know, it's in the form of a seed at first, initially, but then it goes through its process. You know, it's natural maturation, if you will, of blossoming into its perfection. Okay? You got something?
Come. It's on Sirach 19:19.
That's it.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
See, it's the doctrine of life. See, go ahead.
And they that do the things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
See, shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. So you see here where the doctrine of life is in the same breath with the tree of immortality. So this is not just something to gloss over here. This is not just another phase in black culture or something to add to your arsenal. You actually have shysters out there like that, taking notes from every group so they can boast in themselves or create some damn platform. No, we was given this truth to really preserve us. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Matter of fact, before we get that, let's go ahead and get what you got. Then we'll segue with that.
St. Luke 8:11. Now the parable is this: the seed is the word of the Most High.
Read that one more time. Pay attention to this. See, read it again.
Now the parable is this: the seed is the word of the Most High.
The seed is the word. So that means us having this word is not, we're not going to stay on this level forever. So you understand. A seed doesn't stay on that level forever. Eventually it grows into a great mulberry tree or whatever tree it might be. Well, in this case, it's going to grow in the spiritual powers. And I'm going to just throw this out there. You know, a lot of brothers, you know, we speak about spiritual power, but in reality, we already got spiritual power. It has to just be manifested physically. But we just read it. The word is the seed. See? So that means that this word will eventually grow into its perfection. Okay? And again, this word wasn't given to us to boast in ourselves, to debate. All right? You see a lot of Jake in that spirit. That's why the scriptures say riches are not commonly for a nigger. You give a nigga this information not here in the barbershop, you know, pulling out precepts, man. You got something? All right, so with that, let's go to, oh, you have something else?
No.
Let's go to, yep, Proverbs 2.
Okay,
Yep, that one, yep.
Proverbs 2:10. It reads.
And right here, you're going to see why we was given this understanding and what's the purpose of this wisdom. Okay, go ahead.
When wisdom entereth to thy heart.
Right, in your heart, we all know that word heart in the Hebrew translates to your mind. It's like the word heart in the Hebrew is law, which translates to your mind. That's not that, you know, fleshly muscle in your chest. Because, you know, you have Jake there see the word heart, and then they feel warm and fuzzy all inside. No, that's not what this is talking about. I don't know if y'all remember the old clip, the nigga crying. His dad, it was, damn, I forget what it was, intervention, when the dude was a crackhead or something. I love you with all my heart. Fuckers, man. You chase a bunch of emotional. You know? We should have had that clip, man. But that's the problem with you Jakes. You know, this is a sentimental thing for you. The Bible, It don't hit the nigga here, old Negro spiritual, some crazy shit. And you thinking about your grandma. All right? That word heart there is dealing with your mind. This is about logic. You know, not about emotions. Read that again.
When wisdom entereth into thy heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul.
Right. Oh, and this knowledge must be pleasant. Hey, because really this truth is offensive if you ain't right. Because truth is just down and dirty and raw. Sometimes it might not sit well with you, man. You know? But you have to appreciate that it's the truth. That's why the scriptures say, my people desire smooth things. Because it's easy. You know, it's like, for an example, so you can understand, the foods that's healthy to you, they don't go down easy. Like greenery, beets, you know, a certain food, it don't go down easy versus candy or some crazy shit, you know? So our people, they're immune to that. They want to hear something smooth. They don't care if it's a lie, all right? But I'm going to say this, the truth is uncomfortable, man. You know? Oh, you got something?
Come.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms 119 and 165, it says, great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them.
Ooh, read that again. That's cold.
What
is
Psalms 119 and 165.
That's a bad chapter right there. Psalms 119. Yep, go ahead.
It says, great peace have they which love thy law.
Yeah, great peace. All right, and that peace really is going into this truth, man. You know, the comforter. Go ahead.
And nothing shall offend them.
And nothing shall offend them, man. See, you being groomed up, you being polished up. Jake don't want that. Jake want to be the nigga that they was, you know, and apply that to being in the realm of the truth. It don't work like at some point the truth gonna confront you because you're gonna have a block. You got a spaghetti stain on your shirt. I'm gonna tell you, look, you ain't right. Let's get that. Let's change that. That's gonna happen, you know. That's why you here. You're here to be cleaned up. See? And only the elect will not be offended. Oh, that's Matthew the 11th chapter. Blessed are they who are not offended in me. Okay? Because you have these people, Yahweh, but they don't understand that the spirit of Yahweh is in us. So if, you know, when we curse you out or correct you or rebuke you, that's really Yahweh. But you claim you love Yahweh. But, you know, the way he extends himself to you is rough, man. Okay? And because that's a form of cleaning. You wash your clothes, you put them in the washing machine, that's tumbling. It really cleansing, a cleansing process is a rough act. It's a violent act. When you refine something, you put it in the fire. See? Oh, that's why John the Baptist said, he that come after me. Come on.
God, Proverbs 2 and 10. With wisdom enter into thy heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul.
So this information has to be pleasant to you. Even if you're being corrected, whatever it might be, it has to be pleasant. Because you understand you're a work in progress, man. Go ahead. Oh, Salakia, he that is sick. Salakia, he that know that he is sick. That's who the physician gonna deal with. Go ahead.
Discretion shall preserve thee.
See, discretion shall preserve thee. And what's discretion? Give me Proverbs, the first chapter.
Come on, Proverbs, you want to start?
Yep.
Proverbs 1 and 1. The Proverbs of Solomon.
Oh, the Proverbs of Solomon. Go ahead.
The son of David, King of Israel.
King of Israel. And that title is still attached to him. Why? Because that's Yahweh Shah. For those of you who have ears to hear. Go ahead.
To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple.
See, to give subtlety to the simple, man. All of us was simple, man, before being exposed to this information, right? So now we are given subtlety. Go ahead.
And it's like to the young man, knowledge and discretion.
See, to the young man, knowledge and discretion, which goes, that word discretion goes hand in hand with discernment. See? So now let's go back there.
It's like Proverbs 2 and 11. Discretion shall preserve thee.
See, discretion shall preserve thee. So having this information, It's not just having it. Again, some nigga out there taking notes to add to his arsenal. Now you're going to cut your auntie when she pull up from church, man. No, this information was given to preserve you. She's a preserver. See, go ahead.
Understanding shall keep thee.
Woo, understanding shall keep thee. Which that word keep and preserve goes hand in hand. They complement one another. Which, by the way, to preserve something means to preserve it despite the conditions around it. See that? Go ahead.
To deliver thee.
To deliver thee. Now, hold up. Even a Christian will agree that they in this thing to be delivered. That word deliver should ring a bell. You know, deliver. That's what you should want. Yeah. This should pique your interest, what we're about to read right here, right? It said to deliver thee. Go ahead.
From the way of the evil man.
Read that again.
It said to deliver thee from the way of the evil man.
So the evil man coming on the scene in this drama is a critical component to the story. And that's the time we're in. We're in the time where the evil man is about to rise up. Like we open up with knowing that he have but a short time, he will come down with great wrath. But this truth, this understanding will deliver us from that evil man. Now, in relation to this lesson, his wrath is going to be preceded by his legislations, his laws, these draconian laws, which are on the books right now, and is ready to be enforced. All right, so you got something?
Finish it off. Bag you up. It says, from the man that speaketh.
There you go. Come on, man. Read it all again. Run all the way through it.
It says, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things.
See, from the man that speaketh forward things. So this man coming down on you with great wrath is going to start with his laws, his draconian laws, okay, which again is set up to wage war against the children of Israel, you know? So now with that, let's get that definition for draconian law. Let's set the stage. You had something? While he getting that whole Revelation 12 and 17, just hold it on deck.
God, so it's that word draconian, the Google definition, and it reads of laws or their application excessively harsh and severe. Excessively harsh,
go ahead.
And severe.
And severe. Hey, there's laws in the books that's gonna that are real severe. And you see the stage being set. All right, well, the Lord have you people in this state of comfort, and you can see where the Lord is about to snatch that stability from you, that staff and state. Oh, and that's in the book of Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. Right, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water in this comfort zone, this luxury that has been created around you people, man. Okay, you got something? No. Oh, what you got?
Revelation 1.
No, hold that, Salaki, hold that. And oh yeah, I see that too. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right, some of the similar words for that for draconian laws. It says strict, extreme.
Strict, extreme. See, go ahead.
Drastic.
It's going to be a point where you're not going to be able to go and come as you please, you know, in relation to going shopping. You know, in order for you to go shopping, you got to have that jab. Hey, and it's already set. It's legislation already set. Like in New York, it's already on the books. The stage is set. You can't go in certain arenas or certain stadiums, certain grocery stores without having a certain app on your phone that's showing that you already been jabbed, man. See, that's going to be that's going to be an extreme legislation. When your God-given rights, you know, such as being able to go out and get bread and water, right? Those are, you know, the basic necessities for life, right? And survival. Well, this devil is going to compromise that, man. That's what it's going into with these draconian laws. See, go ahead.
It says cruel, oppressive.
Oh, and this devil will get a kick out of oppressing you, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And this man have you so oppressed that you really don't even know you're oppressed. You got damn paperwork, got to show your ID, you get pulled over, and that don't register with you that you're oppressed. Go ahead, Doc.
It says relentless, authoritarian, tyrannical.
Oh, this man is a tyrant, okay? But right now he got on this suit and tie, and he presented himself as this face of this piety. Matter of fact, hold that and give me Ecclesiasticus 12 and I want to say 17. Because eventually, hey, in the spirit, it expresses, right, greatly that one day the Lord is going to pull us back. So in that day, you're going to see it for yourself, man. And even prior to that, because you got a lot of people that look at us, they might take us light, make mockery of the prophets. But in that day, when this devil set up, for an example, these chipping stations where it's mandated for you to go, and get hit up, or the power out. And in order for you to get power back, you have to, show that. And I'm just giving certain scenarios, but the stage is already set for that. And we're going to show you that. We're not just talking in the spirit. We're going to bring out some information that show you where these devils is creeping up on these draconian laws here. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, Sirach 12 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him now first.
Go ahead.
And though he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee.
Yeah, and that's what's happening right now. This man pretending to help you, by putting out all these checks. What they call it, the PPE. And, are they giving you, all this money for unemployment and stimulus? Which when you go into that word stimulus, do you know that word stimulus goes back to incentive? And vice versa. If you look up the word incentive, it takes you to the word stimulus, man. See that? So these devils are pretending to help you, right? Go ahead.
He would shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much.
Yep.
And change his countenance.
See that? Meaning he will eventually show his horns. You're not going to need us to go into the breakdowns to convince you that the so-called white man is the devil in that day. You're going to know it perfectly, man. And that happened back in 7 AD when Yahweh warned them of this man setting a trench about them and compassing them around about and laying them flat to the ground. That actually happened. Esau came up, and what did Esau do? He cut off the supplies. When you go into the history, going to Masada, all right, he cut off all the food supplies, the water supplies to Jerusalem, man. So that same devil is back today. Okay, you got something?
This Sirach 14 and verse 7. And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly.
Yep.
And at the last, he will declare his wickedness.
See that? That's bad. All right. If he do it any good unto you, it's reluctantly, man. But in the end, he's going to declare his wickedness. And really, we in that time. This is the end. And the scriptures tell you how he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot hide himself. Matter of fact, get that real quick before we continue.
All right, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 1. I start at verse 7. It says, for the spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things.
See, he that speaketh unrighteous things, or these draconian laws, right? Go ahead.
Cannot be hid.
Cannot be hid. So once this man began to bring this legislation forth, he kick in your door and you got paperwork validated, you're going to see that that's the devil. Because at that point, he cannot be hid. See?
I got something real quick.
This
is the book of Ecclesiastes, Sirach 14 and verse 7. It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwittingly, and at the last, he will declare his wickedness.
Yep, and it came back out. That's spirit. Hey, that's spirit, Hey, because again, we in the last. All right, and this is the time. See, at the end, this is when things get revealed. For an example, if you watch a basketball game, at the tip-off, it's unsure what's going to, you can't really, you really reach it if you say who's going to win or not. It's a stretch. You forecast it now. But in the fourth quarter with a couple of seconds left, everything seems clear now. You know if it looked like it's going to go to overtime or who's going to win, somebody up 20 or it's over. Well, that's the same now. Right in the last, this is where everything is being brought forth. Everything is being made manifest, including the identifying and targeting of the so-called white man as being the devil and Satan. The revelation of the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. That's the time we in. And that information is too much for some people. You know, finding out, that's a shock. The revelation of the devil, you thought he was a guy in a red spandex suit. It was the so-called white man the whole time. All right, so yeah, let's go back. Go back to that. Yep, draconian.
This is that word draconian, Google definition.
Mm-hmm.
It reads, of laws or their application, excessively harsh.
Excessively harsh, go ahead.
And severe.
And severe. And it's going to really be based upon your own lust. Because again, America has been set up to accommodate the flesh. All right? And I'm going to say this. What's one of the main accommodations for you people? Your phone. All right? I be ready to lose it, man. You in traffic.
Yeah.
You know, you have... You know, a motherfucker, you wonder why the traffic held up. And you look up, it's a motherfucker on the phone, man. And if you blow, they blow back at you. And you got some niggas that have a 40 cal waiting on you, man. That's why, man, we pray, we send up prayers every day. Even if we don't physically say, kill these niggas, Lord, us being vexed in the spirit. Oh, the scriptures say that. We groan on certain things we don't know what to pray for. But the Lord understands perfectly well what petition we making, man. But I just want to throw that out there. The phone is the nucleus. It's the center. You know, it's the central, base of the operation of you people. It's all centered around your phone. Your apps. You got bug apps out here that you'll be uncomfortable. You don't want your kids around. They got crazy apps. You got those. You got a motherfucker 400 pounds, and he got done that. You know. See that? Your lust through the apps. Why is that important? Let's get this information. Let's go ahead and get that information from RT.
Oh, God.
And you're going to see where it all ties into the draconian laws, because it's the so-called white man that's going to applicate it, if you will. But who is the one pulling the strings? It's your how about me outside. And we at the point now we can see it clearly that this the Lord snaring you. The Lord built it up. You got all these luxuries, and this devil is going to use them same luxuries to compromise you. All right, come on.
Con. This is from RT News, and this came out today.
Oh, so this came out today, right? Go ahead.
It reads, no jab, no phone.
Oh, no jab, no phone. And you can't downplay that. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear you. I dare your ass tell me that the phone ain't the center thing in your life, man. Fuck out of here. See that? Because that's the way the Lord set it up. You would be taken. See, you're going to be snared by your own lust. You know, like when you consider the dynamic of a trap. All right? The mice, you got the trap, and you got the cheese on the trap. The trap ain't doing nothing, man. The trap just chilling. It's the lust of the mice. And he's drawn to the trap. And that's you people, man. If I set up booby traps all around my house and you break in my shit and I catch you snared, you can't say, why? You know what I mean? I'm saying, motherfucker, you the one came in here, man. So that's how you how about you outside snared you people, man. And you can see where it's going into detail now. This thing is becoming clearer and clearer. This is out there. The Spirit of the Lord brought this out there. No jab, no phone. You know how many people not going to be with that? You guys, come on, let's read this. Is this something you want to read into it? Read the headline again, though. And it's heavy. I want you to see the picture. It got a SIM card, which actually looks like the chip. Man, this movie, sit tight, man. Sit tight and pay attention. This movie, this drama heavy, man. You got a lot of guys who was once a part of this thing, and they went back into the world for whatever reason, you know? But now here it is. The Lord is making things happen, man. All right. Yep. Go ahead.
No jab, no phone.
Mm-hmm.
Unjab, to have SIM cards blocked, Pakistan's Punjab government says.
So if you don't get the jab, you're gonna have your SIM card blocked. And again, you people not gonna be with that. And we don't need you to tell us. We see it firsthand, man. So even our day-to-day centers around these phones. That's just the climate of the world. That's the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. Now, obviously, if they present that to us, we pray that Yahweh Shema Shah, because we can't even boast in that. You can't boast. I know what it tells you in Revelation, is that the 3rd chapter? Where it's the Lord that's going to keep us from the hour of temptation. See? Yep, go ahead.
All right, they're going reading in the
Hold
article.
on one second. Hey, yeah, shalom, up. Y'all made it to the spot? Okay, come on in. Hey, let the Ak in. All right, shalom. Yeah, we're going live. Y'all boys just come in and fall in. God, shalom. Yeah, we're bringing in reinforcements. That's good. You know, got the brothers from Atlanta coming in, you know. So I don't know how long, what time it is. 6. We might be up. We out here. Oh, yeah, come moving in, yeah. I don't know how we're going to set up the camera. We just wait till the brothers come in. Let's just keep it. Yeah, set it up.
It says Punjab's provincial government is turning to coercive. It's like coercive.
Yo, and that word coercive, when you look it up, it means threatening. That's the draconian. Now you might say, well, hold up, what Pakistan got? Well, this is a global system. You got to remember. Real quick, give me Job, the 9th chapter, in the 24th verse. Because these, you got to understand one thing. A lot of these nations that's in power, really all of these nations, when you consider the UN, these conglomerates of nations, these different leaders, these world leaders are nothing more than operatives, if you will, for Esau, man. That's why it tells you in Revelation, I want to say the 17th chapter, how they was given 1 hour to rule with the beast. See, so just because this in Pakistan, this doesn't mean it's not going to eventually spill over here, man.
Say something too, because it's known or it's manifest by the motherfucker speaking English. Said they don't do that. They still wearing a Micah suit.
Yep, that's a good point.
You know, they in league with them devils, man.
Oh, the brother just put it up, Psalms 83. I was thinking about that when you said it. Yep, but they are under the a vibration of Esau. Okay? Hey, shalom. What's good, huh? Hey, y'all bear with us. We're gonna set up the camera real quick.
Oh
yeah, we going now, bro.
Okay.
Y'all boys come on, get there.
They 48 there.
Yeah, kind. Yeah, so we got the brothers from the A. Shalom. Yeah, you know, y'all already know, man, we get on these devils, man.
Got to, man.
I don't know if y'all saw the article came out. We're going to read it again. Read this article one more time.
This from RT News. You read.
There you go. Shalom, right?
Hey, shalom.
All right, this from RT News. It reads, no jab, no phone.
See, no jab, no phone.
Oh, I saw that earlier.
Hey, you saw that?
Yeah, I watched that earlier.
Now, you know, right, that's the nucleus of you Americans. Everything centers around your phone. So that goes back into that draconian approach.
That's it.
Where this devil's going to send forth these legislation, these harsh legislation to compromise your being, which we know it goes back to your how about Shema Shah, making things uncomfortable for you damn people out there, man. See, because the Lord, once the Lord visit Esau, it's gonna be like a ripple effect. That's why when you go into ancient Egypt, it's well documented how the Lord sent forth plagues, a wide range of plagues, man, from the crops, the locusts, which that actually was a hit on their economy, man.
Yeah.
The water being turned to blood, which that actually contributed to famine. See, and the frog sent the scourge,
the frog,
and ultimately, the firstborn being killed, which we know symbolizes the fact that they would never come back into power again. So,
That's
come on, how can I forget the darkness, man? And the locusts. And right now you got where the momentum is moving towards the power, more and more power outages.
Mm-hmm.
See, so ancient Egypt mirrors modern day Egypt, man.
Beautiful.
See, and Yahweh Shem outside, just like then, now is going to visit the modern day Egyptians and Pharaoh, which comes in the form of these international bankers. Yeah. Right? So yep, let's read this again up. Yeah, y'all brother can jump in now. Go ahead.
Okay. No jab, no phone. Unjab to have SIM cards blocked. Pakistan Punjab government says.
And again, they all fall under the banner of this beast system. You got to remember this is a global system, man. Yeah, these different nations, they rule in 1 hour with the beast. So this is not isolated to just Pakistan. The Spirit of the Lord have this information going forth because eventually it's going to fall upon Babylon, man. Yeah. And these the main motherfuckers with the phones every day. Oh, yeah. You get fussed, man. I'm just telling them brothers. You're in traffic, wonder why the traffic bagged up. It's a bitch with a damn phone, man. Okay, but that's one of the luxuries that the Lord's going to take from you. So you want to read into that?
I'm going to cut it off.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, kind of slack.
You got it, bro.
A lot of these countries like Pakistan, India, Japan, China, they heavy into as far as when it comes to the biometric technology. A lot of these companies, because it's cheaper to put that technology in these other countries than it is to bring over here to the Western world, the UK, Europe, America, they'll test out, they'll get a lot more, so-called scanners and things in the bulk over there. They get these poor countries, register them in government registration data sites, and pretty much they're all on one data stream system. So what the brother's going into, that's all leading to what? That's all leading to a government control system where they all can watch you, which is pretty much what? The mark of the beast.
Yeah, what do you call it? Totalitarianism. Which is total rule. Because all these government phones and everything we use at this point, it's already controlled by the devil himself. So it's nothing for him to clip these phones, take your data, utilize it against you, So now, like that's a prime example. They're gonna make it where you have to. Hey, it's already written in the prophecy. You have to go to your enemy for the one of all things. And he's using it where it's like, all right, you want to use your phone, you want to have access to cable, you want to have access to the food supply, to actually be in the so-called grid of things. You have to get jabbed. Yeah, you got to. I got a precept on yours too.
Oh,
what's that on that?
You can jump.
Yeah, you can go ahead and bring it up.
Okay, this is Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Yeah, and just like the brother Ron was saying, that's the draconian measures that this devil is coming with. You see that, a lot of Jakes bought into Biden. They're buying into these different presidents because they have charisma. They know how to corral the people, know how to make them feel good in the inside. Esau is slowly tightening it, and you to the point where a lot of people don't even notice, man. To the point where it's so tight and you're so constricted by this devil that you can't even get out. If you see like anacondas, different snakes that are good at constricting, you don't even know they on your asses, man. Look at how boa constrictors hunt, pythons and anacondas. They're very subtle, and they but when they strike and they own you, they constrict you within seconds, and you can't break out from no constriction of a boa constrictor or a python.
Pretty much it.
It's pretty much when they own you, you done. Yeah. But that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I got a precept too. This is Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they are prescribed. So, laying back and up what the brother brought out in Revelation 13 chapter, right? They bring out these draconian laws. That's grievousness. They speak as a lamb saying, oh, it's for the people's benefit, oh, this is for health reasons. And a lot of these jabs that people are getting, they're not approved by the federal government. These are companies that have been around for years that dealt with other products that were scrambling to get together and make this jab because of the funds, and they're giving it to the people, but they're also giving it to the people based off certain incentives.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to what actually comes down the pipeline, it's grievousness, because it's going to cause you to actually lose the luxury you already have. All right, I got one more. Verse 2, it says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people. Now here it is, you have the right to actually use a cell phone, to actually go into a store and buy food and things like that. But now they're saying, like what the brother read in an article about Pakistan, right? Now they're saying, oh, well, if you don't take this, you don't have that luxury no more.
Yeah.
You don't have that right. You can't buy this. You can't use that. So that's taking away the right of the people. Okay?
And can I say too, that word grievous, that's going to contribute to the time of Jacob's trouble. When you go into that word, I think the brother got it. Let's pull it out real quick before you continue.
Kind of the word grievous, it says trouble, mischief.
See, trouble.
Yeah.
See, for all you Israelites out there who are not willing to yield or hearken to that message, that there is a time of Jacob's trouble. Well, it is. The scripture speaks about it. And it's going to be framed by these laws, these grievous laws.
Grievous laws.
Yeah. Like the brother was going into, like the priest was going into, you're not going to be able to go into a store, use your phone, buy water, food. These are the basic necessities for life, man.
Well, unless you wear a mask, you couldn't get gas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You couldn't do anything without wearing a mask. You had to conform to what the so-called new normal was.
The basic necessities.
Yeah.
And you had like the old nigga, like your auntie, like the, she was the one at the forefront. Wear your mask. I was asked that dozens and dozens of times.
Like, damn.
Yeah, before you get to the door, they doing the hand gesture,
And it make you uneasy. You leave us.
Yeah.
You might be walking to the store. Like, oh shit, I ain't got my mask.
You looking in your pocket for your mask.
No mask, no service.
Yeah.
A lot of them signs be on these storefronts, but I have a little bit more in that scripture.
Yeah.
It says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. What are they robbing you of? They're robbing you of your life, and they're preying upon you. Because what that does is that's a part of them taking your soul.
Yeah.
That's a part of Babylon the Great taking your soul when you read Revelation 18 chapter, souls of men, because that's basically keeping you from living out your God-given rights in your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what's next? The next is, if you don't have this technology within your body, you won't be able to move around, period.
Mm-hmm.
Probably won't be able to walk out the front door unless that chip actually makes contact with that reader on that doorknob, man.
They're gonna start trying to put you on permanent quarantine mode.
Yeah.
Quarantine you. Another term, what they call it is like drying you out, or it's another one, bleeding you out. Which is a slow process. If you look at how like 70 AD, when you besiege a nation, that's one of the hardest military tactics, because it takes time, man. It takes time for people to actually have a gradual die-off. So Esau is being very tactful, and he's really taking it, even though he knows he has a short time, he's utilizing it to his maximum advantage, so that you Jakes get impatient. I can't use my phone. I don't have access to the grocery store. Fuck it, just give me the jab. That's the point, because he wants your anxiety to kick in. He wants you. He already knows Jakes has a lot of spirits, and Jake has a short tolerance for long suffering. And that's why the Lord gives us those fruits of the spirit to, like, look, if Esau cuts to hell with it. We've been wanting to chunk these phones since we had them any goddamn way. That should be the mentality. But you got it wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I got two on.
All right, come on. Bring him up.
This is on Psalm 59 itself. Behold, they belch out with their mouth. Swords are in their lips.
Right, swords are in their lips, because this is going to precede them coming down with that drummer, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, because when you open your mouth, what you see? Your teeth.
Teeth.
You know, your teeth is in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So Esau, you know, coming down with great wrath is going to be framed by his laws.
Mm.
See? Go ahead.
It says, swords are in their lips,
Uh-huh.
for who say they doth hear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they gather themselves in the shroud of secrecy, these different means, Bilderberg means and such. And what's on the table? How to get rid of Israel, man.
Oh, they got one coming up.
Yeah, oh yeah, coming.
Yeah.
These summits.
Mm-hmm.
These summits.
G7 coming up.
G7, yeah.
They ain't just talking about Putin and Biden. No. They got some real heavier, deeper things on the table that they got to deal with.
Yep,
You know?
Hey, can I say too, the prophets? And that's in Revelation
that's
12.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Give me Revelation 12 and 17. Yep, bring it up.
It's the book of Revelations 12 and verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Yep, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. Go ahead.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
See, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. We that remnant, man. That seed. How do we know? We continue.
Which keep the commandments of the Most High.
See, which keep the commandments of the Most High. And that goes into this book in its entirety. Because you have a simple check. None of us can keep yeah, you're right. What it means to keep the commandments, that means we keep, for an example, Revelation the 13th chapter is a commandment, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're commanded not to receive the mark of the beast. Know how we know that? Because Revelation the 14th chapter gives you the penalty for it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it says those who keep the commandments, that means we hearken to Yahweh Shah, which that's a commandment. Deuteronomy 18 and 15, right? Go ahead.
It says, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah and Mashiach.
See, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah, which is what? The spirit of prophecy. So that's what this devil eventually is going to, like the priest was saying, when they get together in these meetings, hey, really, we at the forefront of it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know, how to get rid of Israel. And that has been an age-old formula with the nations. That we have been pretty much a thorn in their side, Israel. That goes back to Exodus. It's that Exodus, the first chapter, the 7th verse, where goes on how he tried to really depopulate Israel.
Oh, hell yeah.
See, but they just practicing an age-old formula. When they get together, it's motivated by getting rid of Israel, but storm with the heads.
Psalm 83rd chapter.
Yep, Psalm 83rd, yep.
So you had it?
Oh, that's spirit. You got that? Yeah, bring it up.
This is Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. Verse 2, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Yeah, the head represents the position of power. And it said, they that hate us. See, this is thousands of years of nations that always had a reputation to be at enmity with us. And you think that this devil now is looking out for our good favor? No. He's looking to snake us out of our, like you said, out of our souls, to be honest. That in Genesis, when Jacob got over on Esau still has the hatred. He wants to get back. You know, and Esau don't follow the laws. Esau walks off of the spirit of grudging. You know, and he's banded up with other nations that have the same mentality to push that NWO. Yep. That's why we just brought an example: Pakistan, India, China with its biometrics, and what's another that social? What's the
parts of Africa?
Parts of Africa. It's becoming the whole world pursuing the Revelation the 13th chapter.
Yep.
Simone?
Yeah, kind of. Psalms 83 and 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against our hidden ones. Secret societies, we said the G20 summits, you have these different councils of foreign relations, and they get together and they, they're all about positioning and leveraging themselves and keeping the people, at a dormant passive state. That's why they've already, poisoned your food supply. They poisoned your water supply, which in turn poisons your mind. They put all kinds of different things in the media to keep you corralled, as written in the scriptures. My people is led as a sheep to the slaughter. Who's the one that's leading Jake as a sheep to the slaughter? Esau. I just want to use an example like quick point. If you look at how slaughterhouses work, you have like automated slaughterhouses where a sheep might go through one area and the door closed. And they ain't got no choice but to move forward. So you'll see the sheep going in another area, then it close, and then go this way, close.
Oh yeah.
To the point where it's like shit. They at the end of the slaughter field. Now it's at the point where they just got to get the head chopped off. You know, go through the processing. You know, go through the process and get chopped up or whatnot. You know, and that's how Esau's doing. Esau's closing doors to the point where you can't go back.
Yeah.
You know,
it's only forward. They're moving forward.
They're moving forward.
Operation Warp Speed.
Yep. Progressive.
You know,
yep.
Even though Biden's in office and Trump set that up, it's still warp speed ahead.
Warp speed.
It wasn't to get the jab out there. That was for them to achieve their agenda, right? Now check this out, right? About Rashad, if I can bring this out. Now we just mentioned Esau's power structure and his, things that he want to do to Israel. Now today is actually the first day of the G7 summit, right? And not only that, I did a video earlier on one of the signs in the heavens was the fact that you can see Venus right next to the moon. Now, Venus is also known as the morning star, which is Lucifer. So they didn't just set this meeting up now just to do it. No, because they go by
the heavens,
right. They worship them signs in the heavens. They worship that. And then the night before, what did we have? We had the new moon. But we also had that ring of fire solar eclipse. Yeah. So on the left-hand side, dealing with their wickedness, they setting this up. This is that grievousness and these laws and things that they're setting up. They're trying, and they think that Satan is in their favor. They think that the Heavenly Father is in their favor, right? But when you go in Isaiah the 47th chapter, it says that, listen, if so be that thou mayest prevail. Because they think by having these meetings and these summits that they're going to be able to actually rule over the children of Israel and destroy us, and they're going to bring that chip in and bring us down. That's not going to happen. Because guess what? Now, on the right-hand side, we're having a meeting right now before the whole world. But what are we doing? We're proclaiming the gospel of Yahweh, and we're exposing you devils, man. Okay? So this is all the spirit. You think that you're going to do this in secret, and they got it to where they talking about the global economy and what's happening after the pandemic. That's fine and dandy how you can deceive the world with that. But we know exactly what's going on. Okay? And we're bringing out the expose on you through the spirit of Yahweh. You know?
Matter of fact, he got something to bag you up on that.
Come. Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
Oh no, you read.
Come. It says, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Yeah, so they think because they've done this for so long over time that they're this much closer to doing what they plan to do.
Yeah,
but the Lord gonna cut off short, man.
I always say that the French was gonna give America like a new idol.
Yeah, well,
the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. Statue of Liberty, and that's crazy. You just said that because after the G7 meeting, Biden actually met the French President Macron for the first time since he's been in office, and him, Angela Merkel, they're all speaking good things now. But the Lord's going to have it to where he's going to put an evil thought into their heart. See, right now, everything is going smooth. We got a new administration from America. We're going to make this work. They're thinking they're going to achieve their agenda, through Biden, but it's not going to happen, Jack.
Not going to happen.
It ain't going to happen, man.
Yeah. And Esau's witchcraft dried up. Because those same, the French Orient Masons, the ones that gave the Statue of Liberty to America, first go round. So they still trying to beef up that witchcraft so that they can get that New World Order off the ground, man. But Esau's losing his vibration. He's losing his grips on the planet Earth, and he sees it, man. That's why it's more rituals, and Esau's gonna start doing major sacrifices.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah.
He's gonna start trying to really speak about how he's gonna be a madman. He's not doing these different things because he's just doing it for the hell of it. He wants to achieve omnipotency, pure dominance. Like I said before, that totalitarianism, just total government rule where all his legislation flows. Nobody has, resistance. You got it, though, bro.
He says, wherein thou hast labored for from thy youth, if so, thou shalt be able to profit. If so, be thou mayest prevail.
The Lord being facetious right there, because you ain't gonna prevail. Okay? The Lord's about to draw that left hand back and bring that right hand forward, ready for it. He charging that right hand up for a major He gonna do you like Mayweather did old boy, Logan Paul, man. Gonna knock your ass out. You know? Go ahead, you got it. Next verse.
It says, Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers.
So we just spoke about it, the summons. That's the multitude of the councils.
Yep, councils. Yep, go ahead.
Let now the astrologers, the stargazers.
Right, stargazers. Basically, they knew them signs in the heavens were coming.
Oh, yeah.
They knew there was because like 2 weeks ago there was a blood moon eclipse. Then this week was yesterday was a solar eclipse, annular solar eclipse, and today you got the bright morning star Venus in the sky in the heavens. They know that, so we know we're going to plan this around June 11th. That when it's going to line up with Venus in the sky. We're going to draw that power from these demons, and we're going to get our son. Because they said that they were happy. Angela Merkel said that she's happy that things went in the way they're going now. You can read it all on CNN, and you can see they're really jovial about this meeting. Okay, but the Lord got something in store. Go ahead.
It says the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Right. So now let's see what's going to happen with these meetings and things. Let's see if Satan and his demons actually have you prevail in these last times. Okay, go ahead.
It says, Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
Oh, so this is the word of the Lord. You're not going to be able to deliver yourselves from the destruction that's coming upon your society, no matter what you do. It could be G20, it could be G7, it could be G5. It don't matter.
G30, goddamn.
You know? It don't even matter. They shut one box. It
Wow.
don't even matter, man.
Pull your seat up.
Okay?
Yeah, because what? Esau get the same power from the ancient Chaldeans. Like the brother Ron was speaking about ancient Egypt. He's conquered these nations and worshiped their gods. He even tells you that with how they was worshiping Dagon, how they was worshiping these ancient Philistine deities and things of that nature. So he has all these gods under his control, and he really believes, which that the Lord got him deceived, since he has all these demons and he has all these nations under his thumb, that everything he's gonna do is gonna prosper at this point, which is all gonna be for naught. You got it up.
It says, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a cold to warm it.
Yeah. Oh, and Esau reached the prophecies. That's the thing with these devils. What was it? Where they was reading out of the Apocrypha?
Oh, that was when John McCain died.
When John McCain
died.
John McCain.
They know what's in the scriptures, man.
They know what's in the scriptures.
I ain't never heard a public reading of the Apocrypha in all my life.
Never. But see, these devils get into the book. They get into the prophecies. They look into the apostles. They look into these breakdowns. They see how it all verifies. They have these scholars that get into these deep mysteries, and then they be like, "Oh shit, we fucked up. Let's use our money. Let's use our wits. Let's use our science. Let's use our, like you said, the brother was speaking about the teeth, the influence. Let's use our deception to try to upset these prophecies. But you can't upset the prophecies because you're in prophecy. You are the prophecy.
You trying to upset the prophecy is prophecy.
Is prophecy.
Oh, matter of fact, that's cold. Somebody get out real quick. I'm about to say, get Job 12. Is that Job 12 and 16?
It's Job 12. Job 12 and 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Yeah, they're part of the plot. The deceived and the deceiver, man. Esau is nothing but Esau is actually doing the bidding. He don't understand that. And that's in what's that? Isaiah? Is it Isaiah 15 or Isaiah 10 and 15? Where scripture speaks about how could the axe boast itself against he that lifted up, man. Okay, so it was Yahweh Shema Shai who gave you your power. See, your destiny, the Lord already wrote it out, man. You have embarked on a path you can't turn back. Oh, and that's heavy too. How the brother's going into the stocks, the correction of the stocks. Really, Esau is in the correction of the stocks, man. Because there's no way he can get out of this situation. His resources, his influence, his power, his money, or like the scripture said, prognosticators on the left hand side. And that's heavy what the brother brought out, how they got it lined up, you know, with the stars, you know, different constellations lining up. Man, these devils desperate, man. They going hard by it. And for all you people out there that make mockery of the men of the Lord, you know, those who are pushing forth, advancing the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Shai, guess who take us serious, man? Like the brother said, they actually watching us. They taking notes. Motherfucker got the chalkboard. You know, Barazal said that.
Oh, the G7 meeting is over now, so he probably got all whatever brothers posting videos going live. They probably got us.
They got to sit on the monitor.
On the monitor with a different screen. They're probably watching us right now.
Yeah, kind.
You know, sometimes you don't know a brother page got clipped. Esau know.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's
Esau know you, man. You got 3 views. Esau know you, man.
Esau got Esau.
That's Oppenheimer. Them the 3 guys, you know, go on and down. Them 3 niggas, man, watching you. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Get Psalms 23, and you can get Psalms 37 too.
It's like it was still some on that Psalms 83.
Oh yeah, Con. It was more than that. Con.
Yeah, last verse. This is Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance."
Yeah, that's right. And they actually accomplished that feat for a season.
Yeah.
You know, because we went associating or aligning ourselves with being Israelites. But, you know, the Lord worked a miracle in raising us up. That was a powerful work when, you know, the valley of the dry bones, Ezekiel 37 was fulfilled.
Yeah, and these devils, they get together and do that, man. They don't just get together and, you know, just talk shit, man. You know, Jake get together. They just want to clown and have fun. They think Esau get together and do the same shit. And then they'll watch these devils do these public speeches and think that's the ways of Esau. He's a very duplicitous. That's the term. Duplicitous is another term for double tongue. What he tells you on the forefront is not the same thing that he's saying behind the curtain, man. It's an act. That's why one of the brothers had put in that Psalms 37:32, which is a beautiful precept. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him, man. They're not watching us, you know, giving us kudos, you know, trying shalom and praise. They watching us like, how the fuck we don't get these niggas?
They line this up with that.
How can we catch these niggas off guard and how can we fucking destroy them? You know, that behemoth slave hatred, that didn't go away because, you know, we in 2021, you know, whatnot. Esau still has that same hatred going back to Cain. Wanted to slay his brother. You got
as iron rusted.
As iron rusted.
You got of course. I think we call for that Psalm 37 too. But there's another one I think in 12. I believe he got the one in 23. All right, go ahead.
It's Psalms 37 and 12. The wicked plotteth against the just.
Yep, and in order for you to plot, you have to watch them, man. Which that's one of the characteristics of Esau, being compared to the eagle, that keen eyesight. That's on display through the video. See, the Lord laid us out as an open display. We are jewels, man. That's why Yahweh Shai said a city that sit on the hill cannot be hid. So we that city, we that next regime that set the rule and govern over the planet Earth and beyond. And the Lord is not tiptoeing around with that. He not shying away. The Lord threw us out there. You know, he threw us out into the public's eye. So Esau watching us, right? Go ahead.
And gnashed upon him with his teeth.
Yep, with his teeth. And that teeth ranges.
He's ready to get.
Yeah, gnashing upon with his teeth.
You met them kids.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what he do. And even when you put that out into action, like we was mentioning, your teeth in your mouth. And he gonna press on you with his teeth. You know, because that teeth ranges from his damn ICBM missiles down to that needle.
Yeah, and that's beautiful you said that too, because if you look, all your teeth, you know, you have different sections that's used for different points, man.
Canines.
You got your canines, certain, you know, some for crushing and grinding. You know, which that
chompers.
Yeah, chompers. So Esau, like you said, the different ranges of this devil, he's looking to use all his ranges to take us out, man.
And again, your teeth is found in your mouth.
In your mouth.
So once this man opened his mouth, then the teeth there.
Then the teeth there.
So that's this man looking to devour you. You know, is it on that? Oh, you got something?
Oh, and part of the opening the mouth too is opening, these legislations like you just like them legislations when Esau slapping all this shit on the books, and they'll have these hidden legislations going back 10, 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, that's just dormant, waiting to be enacted, waiting to be opened up. These devils been knowing about this, been trying to get this NWO off the ground, for hundreds of years. That's why when Columbus settled here, what do you call it? The New World. A lot of you can see tons of quotes of different presidents and different people in positions of power. They always quote the New World Order, the New World Order. I think Hitler made a statement about the New World Order. A lot of individuals kept echoing the same sentiment because it was all about the agenda being accomplished. And it's going to be, Esau's going to try to accomplish it in this lifetime. We believe that through the Spirit, man. Yeah. But the Lord has the troops on the ground. He got the armed forces. He got the vanguard, to the point where when Esau comes down with great wrath, the Lord has a standard already being, set, and through His Spirit to be able to resist the will of this devil, man. But you got to
go ahead.
God, this is the book of Proverbs, like Psalms 11:2. For lo, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what that means? And it says privily. So they're trying to do it like an assassin type, like assassination. They're trying to get us. Covert. That's why they try to strike your video here. You know what I'm saying? Give you community guide. Like slowly but surely take you out the picture. But it's gonna come down to the wire where they're gonna have to, get down and dirty, man, physically. But when they try to do that, that's when the Lord gonna send that standard, and men the Lord are gonna actually really take them down, man.
That's right.
They really want the righteous because they see the potential we have. When it comes down to rulership, when it comes down to actually being in power, first thing you have to have the mind of a king. You have to have the mind to rule. The greatest rulers, it wasn't always because they were the strongest warriors or fighters. Now, don't get me wrong, that happened. You would think the strongest warrior, the mightiest warrior, that he becomes king. Yeah, that does happen a lot. But really, the one that becomes king, or I should say one that actually stays in the seat of rulership, is one that has the keenest mind. So this is a battle of wits and a battle of the mind, ultimately a battle of the spirit. The keenest minds when it comes down to the common people of the earth.
Acumen.
Yeah, high acumen. Those people that have that's us. That's us. Because who has the highest acumen when it comes to the leaders of the world now? That's Esau. The Moabites don't have the highest acumen. They don't have. All these nations had their time to rule. It's now time for Esau. But guess what? Esau, your time is up. So the Lord is giving that high acumen, the knowledge of the truth. That's what John 8:32. What's making us free? The knowledge of the truth, giving us a keen spirit, keen eyesight, and knowledge of the truth, so we can rule next.
And spiritual acuteness.
I have made you kings and priests.
Made you kings. What is that? Iron sharpening iron.
Yeah, I mean, yep.
Yeah, so the Lord's shaping and molding us to be the next rulers, man. That was it on that. Matter of fact, somebody get Psalms 10. If anybody got that, get Psalms 10. We got all that info, right? Pretty much. I mean, I know we got.
On that article.
Yeah. I mean, he read into it. The headline says enough.
Yeah, well, shoot. When you read into it might strike your video.
Oh yeah. Certain words, set off.
Did our brothers read that Daniel 8 yet?
I don't know if y'all. No. You can bring it up. Okay. I didn't know you called for it.
Oh, it's Daniel 8:25. Just quick precept. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Yep. Through his policies. Yeah. Read that one more time, Salaki.
And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Yep, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, because his legislations, it don't stop with that. With laws, congressional laws. It even trickles down to his media. That's that craft. That's witchcraft, which that word media actually goes into the word medium, which goes into witchcraft. All the way down to just the trends. All of a sudden, you got niggas with rainbow mohawks and a man purse with a 40 cal. That's Esau. That's the influence of Esau. Yeah.
I have.
Hey, that's this place gone, man. You know, the prophets of old. Hey, that's why sometimes that feeling overcoming you be like, damn, I'm in Babylon. Because you know in the spirit, this was the buildup. You know, this was the place that the Lord would erect and he would visit. This is a heavy place, man. Because it's real heavy, because this is where, Babylon the Great. And the scriptures coined it as that. Why? Because this is the place where Yahweh Shai is going to make his return, man. You know, that's heavy how the Lord set all this up together. Nevertheless, we've been thrust on the front lines, and like the brother was saying, this is really a spiritual battle. These devils throwing out, you know, their energy, and you know, we combat it with the
counter it with you know, the gospel, man.
With the gospel, the sword of the spirit. All right, we got on the armor, and while you people sleep, you know, you taking a nap, it's a war going on. But you don't see it as a spiritual war, man. And it's all an effort for Salakia. It's all an effort to set up the next rulers. Right, you got it, bro.
I just had the definition of, in Daniel 8. It says, and through his policy, I'm gonna highlight that word policy. Also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. When you think about policy, it's streamed through politics. You have these political governments. You have the legislative, executive, and the judicial branches that help enact policies. And then, of course, you know, you have police that help enforce policy. Like you just said, the teeth and the mouth, because the mouth is usually the orders. You know, your mouth is responsible for what? You got the tongue. The tongue is how you persuade, how you negotiate. How, you know, these different politicians, they do all kind of filibustering to get these bills passed in office, and then you have the policy set in place, and then you have the police that help enforce it. So police, politics, and policy, all those words are interchangeable. And I have this word police, because this is going to be really a police state that we're living in. The word police goes into policy, public order, enforce the provision of a law, agreement, or treaty, enforce regulations or an agreement. And we see the regulations and the policies that Esau is starting to lay out for the point where these police can't resist. You know, they're going to have to really police and really crack down on whatever Esau puts down, you know, as legislation.
And what's another name for police? A law enforcement officer.
Law enforcement.
And they actually, the police actually a private sector. It's they're the hitman of the elites, man.
That's why they got to talk about defunding them. Because who's funding them?
And a little bit more. And then another thing, just a quick point, I was listening to the news. They're giving these police officers a lot of money, man. When Biden passing these bills, it's not just for, you know, you common Jake to get a stimulus. No, a lot is going towards the police, law enforcement, you know, more ammunition, better you know, tactical gear, better vehicles,
body cameras,
they upgrading the night vision. Yeah, we can see in the night.
And they experiment on a lot of these police officers so they don't get PTSD and stuff like that. They're gonna turn some of these police officers, I'm just gonna say, they're gonna turn them into damn near cyborgs, man.
But that's what they're doing. They're militarizing the police. That's why going back a couple of years, you get pulled over by police in an army fatigue vest. You know,
with a big ass gun, look like he's fighting over, like he in a war with Iraq. You know,
and a lot of the technology they're being given too. A lot of laws are being passed for them to be using invasive technology. They got technology where they can scan your phone, they can look inside your house. You know, infrared, all kinds of technologies. You know, they could use drones. A lot of drones are part of the police force now. Robots.
Robots.
You know,
them dogs, the damn police dogs, and robot dogs,
mechanical dogs.
Mechanical. They come and pick your lock.
Using robot dogs.
That's right. They're gonna use both, goddamn. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace. That's that lamb speaking as a dragon. Shall destroy many.
Woo! Hey, that's happening right now.
That's happening now.
Because this man set the tone. It's an overwhelming spirit of peace for you people. You got a little money, things coming back, and by that peace. Hey, that's why, for an example, when these devils come invade you, they send the peacekeepers.
Right.
That's how they come with the peacekeepers. There's some niggas coming out of helicopter with damn machine gun, high efficient machine gun.
Yeah, the blue hats. They call them blue hats, but those are the UN peacekeepers.
Peacekeepers, yeah.
You know, but meanwhile they got tactical weapons and stuff, man.
Yeah, you're a peacekeeper, but you working for a warmonger, man.
But that goes into the idea of a hunter. See, the very essence of a hunter is to create the setting of peace. It's food on the trap.
Oh yeah, bait.
You know, it's bait. That's how you lure them in through peace.
Cheese in the rat trap.
Yeah, that's it. And by your own lust for peace, you're driven to the trap, which Esau laid out, man.
Because what your guard is down when you're in a peaceful area, your guard don't be you don't be all on 10. You know, when you got the violin, good fragrance, that puts your spirit, your energy down. And Esau wants to keep you at a low. That's why he's putting all this money, these PPPs and the stimulus. Esau just throwing money in your pocket left and left and right, man.
Oh, he's sending out another couple $1 million in stimulus check this month. Sending them out. So if you ain't got yours, you go get.
They tell you to watch out. Watch out for the mailbox.
Yeah.
If you get a traditional.
Watch out for that. that DD direct deposit.
Yeah. A little bit more, and brothers got it. He shall stand up against the princes of princes. Excuse me, the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
That's the end. That's just like it's like, and but you know what? That's part of the Lord putting the spirit on you to get there's fight, man. Because the Lord telling you exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get your behinds whooped. You're going to try to fight. You got the Space Force. They putting out this UFO report this month, and there was one guy. He basically said it was like they're gonna put that UFO report, but it's going to be some mediocre. It's just going to be just a blanket statement of admitting it.
Some PDF file.
Yeah, like
you don't even want to read that shit.
Yeah, like you don't want to put out a report on. So these are the angels. They're black man. They're
oh no, you ain't on that. Nah,
they ain't putting that out there. They putting it out there to further what they have to do in order to deceive you people even further.
It's gonna be written on vague, like what the hell does this even mean, man?
Yeah, they got a cop. They got a cop a plea now.
Of
It's like quarters in session. You got busted. You got a plea. You got caught. They caught you with the drugs. You can't say I didn't have it. You got to now. You got a plea. Well, you know what? I agree to a lesser sentence. So now they coming out. Well, yeah, it is.
We can say that it isn't UFOs, but it is at the same time. Technically, they're IFOs. He's like because Esau's a snake, man. It's semantic. That's what it is.
Yes, and that's a king. That's like a criminal. He had the interrogation room. He got, he got experience and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about
it's hard to catch them. Yeah. You can't say nothing. They ain't sweating. Sometimes you can put a lot of tech on some of those super criminals, man. Oh yeah. They don't even. They be passing.
Trying to incriminate himself.
You can't. Some of them you can't get, man.
Yeah.
And that's Esau. Yeah. Esau's the master criminal. But you brothers got
it. Yeah. Oh, you have some? We get that Psalms.
That's Psalms 10.
Yep, yep. We get this. I guess we started at the very top on it.
Okay.
Psalm 10. Oh.
And then somebody can hold. What's that? Psalm 73. Yep. Go ahead.
Psalm 10:1. Why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?
In times of trouble, man. And that's that same time of trouble which the scripture coined as Jacob's trouble. Because it's going to climax into, again, Esau, this wrath is going to be geared towards you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. Okay? Hey, and now you do have other, like this is the great melting pot, all right? These different nations are here. And even other so-called white people going to feel, the brunt of the higher ups coming down. Because they trying to shrink it. You got depopulation, or like over there in Georgia, the Georgia guys. Right, this is how this devil came up. This is what he came up with to bring to make things right.
Eugenics.
Just kill everybody. Yeah.
Margaret Sanger, the eugenics program.
But she got it's a spot right up here in the hood. Y'all know what I'm talking about out first. It looked like the slums, but the damn the abortion clinic looked like a oasis, man.
Some modern trees and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, I show you. Yeah. They got the trees around
If
it.
you want to go inside and drop something off.
Yeah.
That's how East Side get you, man.
Yeah, you feel compelled to go up there, you know?
Said the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Well.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Right, and that word imagine goes back into their secret councils again.
Yeah. That's the image.
Yeah.
Imagination always starts.
And it goes, it is in your mind, it's in your head. And who the heads of Esau? The elites.
That's right.
That's what it means to take place.
And they made the imagination starts with them. They made an idol out of themselves. That they're God's chosen people. Whatever they say goes. There is no Most High. So they could defy him and they can actually excite their judgment and their rule on the planet Earth. They just like, the world is a putty. You know, what Esau say, the world is like an oyster. How they say it? The world is our oyster. So whatever they do, you know, they can mold it.
And they want that pearl.
Yeah, and they can do everything in their favor to crop it to their liking. And see, they want this NWO. They really want a white man-based world. And if you jakes are anywhere, you're fully under the thumb of him. You can't walk, you can't eat, breathe, or piss nor shit without authorization from this devil. He has a God complex. That's exactly what it is. He wants you to worship him every step of the way.
And really, that's a imbalance of the universe to have Israel totally erased, because we are naturally tuned to the vibration of the universe. Esau's not naturally tuned to it. He's an anomaly. But he's trying to take our role and thinking, well, don't worry about it. We got it. We'll be. When everything you do is destroyed. That's why it says in Habakkuk that you are as death. But you want to try to destroy the very people that you need. You gotta imagine if all Israel was destroyed, what the scripture said, the ordinance of the sun, the moon, and stars would be put out, and vice versa. You know, he's like a red black hole. He's a red hole. He just wants to suck everything in and destroy it.
The horse lease.
Yeah, the harbinger of death, man. You know?
God. Verse 3: For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire.
And what's his desire? To establish this new world order, to crown his enterprise of success. Right? And they boast in it through their legislation, their laws. Right? Go ahead.
And blessed the covetous, whom the Lord abhorred. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, would not seek after the Most High.
What does it mean when it says the pride of his countenance? That don't mean this look on his face. That's spiritual. That's talking about his laws.
His mindset.
Because your because when you go into the face or countenance, that goes in. Just like when the Lord said he hid his face from us, that wasn't a physical face. The Lord peeked his face out the clouds. That means he had this information from you. So the countenance of Esau, a countenance is a reflection of you. Okay? That's the face, that's the image of the beast. The image is not a real image. It's his system.
States in the system,
which goes by decree. See, like we was mentioning, like when you deal with kings or empires or regimes, even with the Most High being the king or kings, it's a decree that comes out first. It's a decree. That's why you have laws and statutes and commandments in which to govern the people by. Well, that's the same with Esau. Esau has an actual set of laws and legislations. That's his countenance. It said through the pride of his countenance. See, go ahead.
It said the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
See, so he don't set legislations up according to what the law said. His legislations are not in harmony with what the scripture say. That's why he's known as Satan, man, the adversary. Everything he said,
the devil, the
deceiver.
You know,
everything is contrary to what Yahweh Shema Shai has laid out. See?
And if his thoughts aren't on the Most High, then of course he want to lie to you about the Most High and deceive you and make you think the Most High don't exist. Because he's not in his thoughts.
The Big Bang Theory, like you said.
All of that, right.
Then this nigga said when the Big Bang Theory was accomplished, he ended up on top.
Right. Somehow he ended up at the top
after the gas, the ball exploded,
so to speak.
he ended up on top. So that's saying, hey, if you buy into that, it's like you have to just concede. Like, okay,
Right.
damn. You know, you on top of that. Nobody had nothing to do with that, but this ball.
Right. It was just destiny. He just supposed to.
He started telling the wildest stories.
That dude crazy, man.
He's a goddamn.
But that's how he keep you, man.
Yep.
He keep you Jakes and manipulated.
He saw you wild boy.
He tell those bedtime
He saw
stories.
you a wild boy.
Yeah, you wild boy.
He'll tell these bedtime stories, and it's always
Yeah.
a good old devil that wins at the end of the day.
Yeah, campfire.
Those campfire stories.
You and your white lies.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's why Jake is looking to fight this devil's new world order. Tells you in 2nd of the 13th chapter how when Yahweh Shah comes back, there's gonna be militarized men. It ain't gonna be just only crackers. It's gonna be niggas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other nations.
Yeah, other nations.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of those Jakes are gonna be resisting the will of their military too, man. That's how you know that the times that we're in, it's gonna be some. This is the epic part of the movie. We're hitting the climax of this thing, man. Brothers should be excited.
We get to the good part.
This is the juicy part. You know, when you watch the movie and everything has to buff up and it has to, the plot has to thicken and all that, you know, which is the good part of the movie too, but it's not the climax. This is shit. This is what
they call it the rise in action.
The rise in action.
Mm-hmm. We're in that rise in action, and we're about to hit that climax, and then we're gonna go to the closing, man.
The closing.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, 11:44.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I got Psalm 73.
Okay, that was it over here. Oh, we got more on this. Matter of fact, hold that real quick. Let's run through this.
Psalms 10 and 5. His ways are always grievous.
And there go that word grievous again. When we looked it up, it goes into trouble. Yep. So Esau is going to facilitate the time of Jacob's trouble. He always did. That's why the scripture says, if you are in adversity, you'll find him there first. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, around the 49th verse, where the scriptures emphasize the Lord sending forth that eagle to accommodate the curses. That's swift as the eagle.
Yes, swift as the eagle.
You know?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
Yep. This man don't consider the judgments of Yahweh Shema Shai. Go ahead.
And for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Right. He incite them. You know? You remember when Trump elbowed his way through everybody?
Yeah. He was an instigator.
Yeah. We just knew that was gonna be the guy. But the Lord, the Lord is control of the move.
Yeah.
But it's still that same beast system, you know, and it's still the so-called white man that's offended.
Yeah.
See?
And they opposing sanctions on these different nations that might not be in full agreement with Esau's new world order. That's why Esau be doing these military invasions, because a lot of these different nations don't want to bow down unto what he has set. So he like, shit, we just gonna mow over you then and set up a puppet leadership. Okay. That's part of him puffing himself up, buffing it, making this. Like when you see like a bully or somebody, you see they flex,
he's flexing.
Yeah, he flexing on you, man. But see, we're not the ones that back down. We understand it's an underdog story. He got everybody intimidated. Like who said it? I think that was on Friday. We were saying, everybody's scared of you, but I ain't scared of you. It's like spiritually Craig versus Debo, man. We got the power to really knock this mother effer out, man.
Yeah.
We got that. The Lord gave us that arm. The Lord gave us that strength and power. The arm is written of in the scriptures. The Lord's always liken us unto his right arm, liken us unto his strength. For a certain reason, he knows we have the power and the potential to give this man a piercing blow. That nobody else has the power to do. You got it.
God. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud.
Yeah. This whole society is a fraud. This whole pandemic, everything is set up for him to try to achieve his will. He said he's never going to be moved, right? Well, guess what? You think you were an unmovable object? Well, you're about to meet an unstoppable force. And that's going to be Yahweh Shai, man. Okay?
Thank you. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Yep. Go ahead.
He sitteth in the lurking.
He got the razors under the tongue, man. And see you can see like certain people in jail cells, they know how to have a full conversation. You can't even detect the race up under that thing. So that's how Esau do. You know, even though he's coming to you, that's why Scripture says don't trust the enemy. He can talk to you and he can stoop down and he can seem like he's coming from the same struggle you coming from, not knowing that he got the razors up under that thing ready to, slash you up.
But that's that serpent, that poison of an asp.
Poison of an asp.
Like a snake, like an asp, but he got that poison. As soon as he strikes, he's gonna bite down and inject that that killing chemical in you.
Yeah. Venom.
Yeah, venom.
Yeah, somebody else?
Yeah, just to back up what y'all brothers are saying. This is Psalms 28:3. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts.
Yeah. And the heart, again, go back to those means. You know, they throw something out there as a smoke screen, pretty much. To, it's like a distraction.
It's a distraction.
Yeah. It's a you're distorted. Your vision is distorted. That's that camouflage. All that. You go into these hunters. But really behind the scenes, he's looking to kill your ass, man. And it goes back like this sitting. It starts with the draconian laws. Because this man haven't been writing all these like Rex 84 and the King
NDAA.
Kind of all these different legislations, right?
Yeah.
Just to have them. No, they are. That's why you see these devils. They feel justified. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. Strength. Because that's why a motherfucker kick in your door, then they got a paper. Under Section 10C3, you're in violation. That's the fucking devils. They trust in their legislation. That show you the pride of this devil. That's why the scripture we went into, the judgments of the Lord are far beyond their sight. They actually look to their own legislations as if that's what's to justify them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it does justify them to a certain level because, of course, in this world, we know the Lord is going to get their ass. But Esau not going to get locked up. It ain't like I said, when you got that paper, Esau can kick into your door, and he has that search warrant, which is authorized from the judge. If anything goes down and they shoot you in the face, it's everything been authorized from the judge to make that invasion. So when Esau comes down with great wrath, they're not just gonna have any troops just running on the willy-nilly. They already got full authorization. If they shoot you, if they apprehend you, put you in a concentration camp, starve you to death, it's all passed by the federal government.
Yeah, even if they take your house.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's all in paperwork. They're like, look, you invited according to 501c. That's why the scriptures say they're going to take some out of their house.
Yep.
See, everything centers around their laws, which is contrary to the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Scriptures say remove not the landmarks.
Yep.
But this devil set up something to remove the landmarks. See? That's why you have over here in Dakota, the pipeline.
Yep.
They did that because of Esau wrote some shit. Well, they did that with the natives. The treaties. This nigga would write a treaty just to snare you. He'll come like the scripture tell you about how his mouth is smooth as butter. And you ask like, well, damn, he broke over 500 treaties. Why didn't the natives was on to something after the third, after the fourth time he played me? That's because this nigga came with another contract. Look, I promise you with this, and I'm gonna sign off on it.
Right, and there was different tribes they went to.
Buttering them up.
Yeah, just so he can get you.
Like I said, smooth as butter. Esau's buttering them natives up, man.
Yep, and that's like when you go into contracts, you have clauses. Yeah, that's symbolic to being, in the clutches of someone, man. Yep, go ahead up.
God, Wisdom of Solomon 2:11. Let our strength be the law of justice.
Right, and when you read this is Esau reasoning with himself. So he said, let his strength be the law of justice. And he's certainly not talking about the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So what laws is he talking about? These different draconian laws. Okay, because you got to remember, everything is a build up to now. This man put all his stock, he threw all his chips in the center of the table for this moment. That's what, read that again.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Yep, go ahead.
For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
See that? So they put their stock in their law. Okay? And again, you're going to see that these laws and legislations, if you will, that's going to pretty much cement them rolling on Jake. It's not going to just be some random, you know, back in the days, you get a band of wild Edomites to drag you into the, you know, the town's square. No, they're going to come with a military. It's going to be signed off on. His legislations on the books that's going to justify it.
I got something real quick.
Go ahead.
Sirach, Ecclesiastes 28:13. Curse the whisperer and double tongue, for such have destroyed many that were at peace.
Right, and that whisperer dealing with these secret means, man. You know, and cause that's when you plot. And you like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Well, you in a huddle.
So it's like, why is it a secret meeting? Why can't it be a public forum?
Exactly. Hey, cause a king will come out, bah, 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 and decree, look, this motherfucker here, you don't even know what's on the book. I gotta research it. I don't find out till you kicked in my door that you behind the scenes set up some shit to snare me. Yep, go ahead. Yeah, so go with that
Psalm 10.
I think the point gonna building up to like the 9th verse.
Back on Psalms chapter 10 and verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
Yep.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Yeah, like we just said, this man privately sit up to come up against you. See, go ahead.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draw him into his net.
See, when he draw him into his net. So that den, let's go into that. That den is dealing with these secret means again, man.
Secret means.
Yeah. In the clefts of the rocks, when you go into a cleft, the cleft is like a slit in these mountains. You know? So
you got a cleft chin.
Yeah. So that's why you have Esau. Esau is in that. He's not up front on the mountain, so you can see him. He's in the cleft. That's that Wizard of Oz, yeah. You want Wizard of Oz with a guy behind the scenes. So he's in the shadows in a dark, cold, damn cleft. Signing legislations to come up against you.
Yeah, and if you look at these dens, like a lot of times bears be in dens hibernating, and they'll put themselves in locations where most animals ain't even around. When you see a bear, they eat and store up reserves. They store up so much reserves that when it's hibernation time, you know, it's damn near, you know, hard to even hunt in that type of environment. So they just tuck away and sleep. And they already know that the terrain is aggressive. They already know it's certain, you know, stuff gets so harsh and so turbulent in the environment that the best thing to do is just to den themselves off and just, you know, cut off from even moving around, you know, to even go on a hunt. So this devil is doing the same thing. He's in the cut, you know, and he already knows that certain shit is going to come down the pipeline aggressively hard. That's why they put billions of dollars into these deep underground military bases. You know, you look at these military bases, them shits be like underground cities, man. And it's inaccessible. It's not even money that can sometimes buy you into some location.
It's bigger than your money with that.
Bigger than your money. You know, you got it though.
That was it on that Psalm 73. We can get that.
Yeah, I got it. Psalm 73. I'll start at the top. It says, "Truly, the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me,"
can I say right there? That's not talking about Israel as a whole.
As a whole,
yeah. Those of a clean heart. And how is our heart clean? Through the word. That's pursuing the St. John the 15th chapter.
Psalm 119.
Psalm 119, around the 8th verse. Yep. Is it?
It says, "But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped." That's because everywhere we go, we're in the valley of the shadow of death. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much a cursed place for us pursuing to the law in Deuteronomy 28. But when you're dealing with Esau, it ain't so.
We say walking on thin ice. No, it's thin and it's slippery. Ice is very hard to walk on. That's that precept you just read. You got it.
It says
on the feet that almost slipped.
It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked."
Yeah, because our people, they look at Esau as the standard. You know, your success is based upon you getting a house out in LA, Malibu. You got a house in the Hamptons, a villa in Costa Rica, you know. So you are basing your status upon them. So Our people became envious of this damn devil.
Yeah,
And that made them foolish because Scripture says that the righteous is more excellent than
Then
his
his
neighbor,
neighbor.
but they being seduced.
and they had
You know?
they sold out. They sold out to get a piece of the American pie, so to speak.
That's it.
Yeah, it says,
What it say to keep up with the Joneses?
Yeah.
it says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. See, because it looks like this man will never go down. I mean, if you would, let's say, like to Jake in the world that don't know this word, this gospel, to them, they're looking at, Biden's the guy. We got Trump out of there. America's going to come back together. Everyone's, getting stimuluses. Things are opening back up again. They're looking at things like, you know what, this place is getting its strength back. We were weak for a moment, but now we're getting back our strength. They see that when they look at these news outlets and when they read these articles and when they see these social media posts, that's why they be like, well, they always say we when it comes down to America, or they say our. Yeah. When these devils don't associate themselves with us, we're captives, So it says, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. And that's definitely talking about in comparison to Israel.
True that.
Because when you look at the so-called black man, we get all kinds of media coverage when it comes down to police brutality and when it comes down to being shot in the streets. Like, we go through that. You don't see these cops blown away. He was a budding chess star, or a budding lacrosse star. He just graduated, cum laude from his university. You don't hear about these white boys getting messed up, in the Bel Air neighborhood of California. You don't hear about that.
Yeah, Martin Lawrence had a comedy special back in the day. Run tell that he was talking about how Edomites be talking to cops, and Dave Chappelle said the same thing. Aside from how Jake talked to cops, Jake be, real polite, and Esau be cussing them goddamn cops out.
My father,
my father's gonna have your ass, man. You don't know who you're fucking with, and they do that. Esau, sir, you have a nice day. Let Jake do it. He's got a gun. That's part of the curses. That's part of the prophecy. It said he's not a plague like other men. And then Esau, they're communities that are drug inundate with all kinds of drugs. As well as diseases. Esau put a lot of these different diseases and sicknesses, in our communities, dealing with the Tuskegee experiment, Puerto Rican cancer experiment, all these different syphilis and all that stuff. And Esau would have these lines where Jake would go down and they would claim, we're gonna have to jab individuals such as the Tuskegee experiment. They was giving them the syphilis, right? They was injecting syphilis. They was injecting it in them. It was even a military man in Africa. He was talking about the operation was to spread HIV or AIDS to the Africans. That was part of the that was part of the job. It wasn't to clean shit up. It was to infect those individuals. Man. So that's part of Esau plaguing individuals and him not being plagued as other men. You got it.
Yep. Now this verse 6. It says, therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain, violence covers them as a garment. So when it comes down to pride and violence, who is the poster boy for that? So-called white man. When it comes down to actual to bodies, nobody has stacked up more bodies than the Edomites, man. They got millions. They got billions of bodies, man. When you look at the population of the earth 100 years ago, it was around like 4 billion. In less than 100 years, we gained 3 to 4, half of that. Half of that. Because basically what's going on is it's a lot of people getting put down too. A lot of people down, a lot of people being born. And Esau, he had all these major world wars. You never hear of a major world war amongst the Persians and the Medes. Not even the Greeks. But when it came down in this last leg of Esau, he actually makes weapons to kill multiple nations and countries of people. Because violence to him is like a garment. It's like he's covered in it, man. You know, everywhere he goes, he's going to bring some kind of death and destruction.
Draped up with wickedness.
You know, and why is he proud? Because he beareth the sword. Because it says he beareth not the sword in vain. You know, he does so he can punish people. Oh, you don't want to follow our policy? You don't want to take the jab? Okay, fine. Well, that's Revelation 13. If you don't bow down to the image, what does it say? It says that you're gonna be killed. You know?
Small that.
Yep. It says verse 7, it says their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. And that goes back to the blessing that Isaac gave Esau. It says that he shall have the dew and the fatness of the earth, but by the sword shalt thou live. So basically, in order for Esau to obtain the blessing of ruling the earth, he had to use the sword to destroy, to pillage, to rape, to kill, to use violence. Because basically, Isaac told him, like, basically, man, you're going to have to get it. You have to take it from Jacob. Because he's already been blessed with it. Like, what am I? Because what did Isaac say? What blessing do I have for you? Okay, you're going to have the fatness on the earth, but that's because you're going to have to take it from your brother, you know? Mm-hmm. And he's trying to take it from us, man.
Still trying to take it.
He's still trying to take it. It says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Now, because what's coming back up in the news now? Reparations. They ain't trying to give Jake that. Yeah. But there's laws, you know, people are praising one of the legislators, I think in California or something like that, about putting in motion for Jake getting reparations. That ain't going nowhere. Because when it comes down to the elites and those that rule, they speak lawfully of it. They don't care about it. They're trying to take over the world, not give some of the world to you. It says they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walking through the earth. And that's going back to their policies again. They don't care about the Most High. The Most High is not in their thought. Their policies, they got a global policy going throughout the earth right now. Okay? But I'm gonna jump down. This is verse 27. It says, now for lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go a-whoring from thee. So all those that go against the Heavenly Father are going to perish and they're going to be destroyed. No matter what kind of pride or what kind of blessing they think they got. Guess what? Isaac coming back to take their blessing away from you. Okay? Yep. Yahweh Shai.
And can I add too, that them setting their tongue against the heavens is actually coming up against the will of Yahweh Shai. And it goes into their legislations, man. Because they feel as if they're going to control or establish their own destiny by way of their, decrees or whatnot. All right. So, anybody else got something?
Yeah, I got one more verse. This is Psalm 73 and 28. But it is good for me to draw near to the Most High. I have put my trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shai, that I may declare all thy works.
That's it.
And we have this truth in this gospel to declare unto the hopeful elect out there the works of the Lord, man. Because we in that time. We're in that time. Things are getting closer than ever. Ain't no telling what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of signs in the heavens, signs in the earth, things that are happening quickly. We just got to be in the right mindset and in the right spirit and making sure that we're following the word of the Lord. Mm-hmm. So we have that hope of salvation, man, and that we don't lose the crown that we already are taking hold of.
That's right.
Yep, and like you was going into, that's heavy. Some can jump out tonight, tomorrow, because the suddenness of prophecy. Really, prophecy is about suddenness. Mm-hmm. When you go into the time of Noah, the reason why it was even rain is because rain, it just dropped, it fall upon you. Mm-hmm. And there's a certain suddenness to it, and that's how the Lord going to visit, America.
Yeah, thief in the night.
Yeah, that's it. A thief in the night. That's it. Beautiful. And like the brother said, overnight, you can wake up tonight, you wake up, Lord will, you wake up tomorrow, and it's been a shift,
Yeah, you watched that on a good movie, for brothers to watch if you haven't watched the movie Fifth Wave. You brothers seen that?
No.
Oh, I gotta show brothers after that. That's heavy. It goes to the sixth trumpet. Because the girl was saying all of a sudden the world just started changing. Right. You started seeing disasters in diverse places. It's a good movie, for any, it's damn good movie. You know, that's all I want to say. But you brother.
Yeah, the Conway. Hey, that's pretty much it on that. And then the matter got something on the add more precept. Hey, so with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers laboring in his work. And as always, you believe as the Akim as well as the Aqua. Those of you who subscribe to these teachings as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, Abba. Soon.
Soon.
Very soon.
Soon.
By the Akim. Lord sent in the reinforcements to get on these devils, man.